welcome back to my channel. My name is Laju. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. I vlog about faith, fun, family, food, lifestyle, and everything that inspires you to become your best self. Yay! So I don't know if you noticed, but I'm currently not wearing any makeup, like huge makeup. But yeah, I do have my improvised lipstick and I have my eyebrows carved the best that I can. But the last video I made, I had this old foundation. I mentioned it. I had an old foundation that I used, and it was bad news, guys. The next day I woke up and I had acne all over my face, which was disastrous. Like, oh my god, I'm a skincare consultant, a body shop consultant for that matter. So I knew I can't afford that. So for now, I'm currently staying off makeup for a while till I get the one that suits me. So having said that, let's get right to today's business. Today, so many people have been looking forward to this video, and I will be talking about my postpartum experience, my postpartum journey thus far. So my last video I talked about getting discharged from the hospital and then going home. So we were home. I got into the new mom life, trying to adjust to the sleepless nights, the breastfeeding, the crying baby. It was just like, ooh, every day was a new thing. So, like I said, the breastfeeding was not easy in the beginning, but eventually it came along. One mistake I think I made though was that I had this automatic breast pump. Thank you, Tayo K. Yeah, it was gifted to me by my family friend, and it was really useful. But I guess the excitement of having a breast pump and the fact that I also wanted other people to help me, I wanted to pump some milk so that when I'm at least resting, somebody else can be feeding my baby and all. But the mistake I made at that point was that I didn't realize that the more you pump, the more milk you produce. Now I still had an infant that was only drinking very little milk. You know, as they grow bigger, their tummy expands and they start taking more. But in the first few days, they're not taking a lot. And I was here pumping lots of milk. So before long, before I started having breast engorgement. Like I went from like 34C to like 36D overnight, and it was like, oh wow, can I really get this big? But it wasn't funny, guys. It was painful, it was uncomfortable, and I remember then my mom would be helping me with warm water, massage my breast and all that. But we got over that. Another thing that happened in my postpartum journey that I will never forget was this itching. I had a couple of things, so I'll say everything. Was this itching? I'll try to keep it short. I'll try. I can't promise. I just gotten home from the hospital. They gave me antibiotics. If you remember my last video, I talked about having that huge tear. So I was on antibiotics. So they gave me the one that was safe, obviously safe for myself and my newborn baby. But not long after, I started itching a lot. Like I was itching like a crazy woman. Like, what's going on? So I called my GP. I told them about it, and you know, they were thinking maybe it's the antibiotics. Maybe I'm reacting. But guess what? It was an antibiotic I'd used so many times. I'd never reacted to it. So they told me to come for another one. The itching didn't stop. It was obviously not the antibiotics, because I don't think I was reacting to the antibiotics. But I kept on. I used the new medication they gave me. I was still itching. But after a while, it went on its own. It got better, you know. Though I read somewhere that people react to epidural, and you know I got epidural. So one of the side effects of epidural I saw was itching. And I'm thinking probably that was what caused my itching, because it was really bad. Like I was always scratching all over. Like I couldn't stop. But eventually that passed, as I said. Then the next one was my hand. This hand, it's God that I used this hand though. In short, I thought I had carpal tunnel syndrome. There was this pain. Truly, God is a healer. Now I can't believe this hand is all right. Like I had this pain around here. Maybe it was the position of carrying. I don't even know. I don't know what happened. But in short, I had the pain for over a year after giving birth to my child. So now that I don't have the pain anymore, it can only be God, because it became a prayer point. As a dentist, you know, I need my hands. Thank God it's not my dominant hand. But I was really worried, like, where is this pain coming from? I had to carry my, you know, my newborn in awkward angles, because it wasn't comfortable at all. Now that passed also. Well, it didn't pass. I was living. It was my reality in those first few weeks. I had the engorgement. I had the itching. I had the supposed carpal tunnel syndrome. My husband was even saying maybe I should go and take x-ray, but I just said, oh, it will go. You know, that's something mothers do that we need to stop. We don't take care of ourselves, and I'm still guilty. I still do it. I still have things that I'm like, maybe I should get it checked out, but I just say, oh, I'll be fine. But we should really stop that, because your health is wealth. Now, moving on. Then the next thing that happened was milk blisters. Oh no, nipple blisters. I'd never heard of it before. Yeah, it was nipple blisters. I remember it was, yes, breastfeeding is painful, but this one, hey God, it was painful. It was so painful, guys. Like, in short, okay, what happened? I know what caused it. This one, it was my fault because I'd been pumping, and as I told you, I was flowing in abundance. So I know the cause of this nipple blister, right? That particular day, I decided to pump before going, and I wanted to pump a lot, and because I was using an automatic breast pump, I kind of put it on a very high speed so that I could do it quickly, and that was where the problem was. The thing was pumping, like there was too much pressure on my nipple. By the next day, I came up with this pain. Like once my baby puts her mouth over the nipple, God, the pain was entering my. I would be screaming. So I googled, I read about it. What is going on right now? And I found out that it was called blisters, something milk blisters or nipple blisters. I remember there was something blister there, and it was really painful. And one of the instructions was that you still have to keep breastfeeding. Like I have to keep breastfeeding, right? So imagine every time I give her, give her food, I was breastfeeding and crying. It was that bad. It was very painful. When I'm not breastfeeding, I'll put one of the things that helped. I'll put olive oil in cotton wool. I'll apply it on my nipple, where my bra, and eventually it got better, but it was painful. So those first few weeks, there was a lot going on. I felt like, oh God, help me. Then we went for the 6 weeks appointment, and I told the doctor a problem I was having then, because I got I had the stitches done. So when we had the 6 weeks appointment, there was something I'd been feeling. I told the doctor that I'd been feeling like a suture in my, under there. And he said, oh, that's not possible. It's absorbable sutures they use. It would have gone, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, no, I'm feeling something. So, yeah, once again, I opened up, and the guy checked, and he said, oh, yeah, that's strange that there's actually something there, that the wound had not healed well. And one of the stitches was sticking out. Hey, God. But he's a GP, and he said he didn't have the instruments to get it out, blah, blah. So he said he was going to send me to the hospital. He called ahead and told me I could go to the hospital. And I waited for a few minutes. I went to the O&G side, and there was another young man and a lady with him, and he told me they were medical students. Is it okay if they just come? And I remembered, medical school, those days we'll be looking at people's everything. That is how it feels. I felt so, but being, a doctor myself, I was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, but this time I told him, I said, I hope I never see any of you ever again. And they all laughed. The guy removed the suture that was sticking out, and that was the end of that. I returned home, continued doing my warm water, seat bath and all that. That passed. I think my mom spent about 2 months. Then my mother-in-law came also. She spent like another almost 3 months. My daughter was everything was about 6 months when everybody now left me. It was now me, myself, and I. I had to now continue. Now, when my mother-in-law was around too, she was very helpful. She was really amazing. She can carry, she can carry my baby. She could carry her from morning to night, carry her away, carry her sleeping. And I was living my best life. I had somebody to help me. She could clean everything. She was just always up and about. She's a very active. She's a very active young woman. I said young, trust me. But I didn't know that I was setting myself up for bigger quanta. What do I mean? For more work. Because now my daughter was used to being carried all the time. My house, I was used to having a clean house. Suddenly, I had none of that anymore. It was just me. I had to start doing everything all by myself. And that was when the reality hit me. Like, this wasn't just me and my husband. This was me, my husband, and a child that couldn't do anything by herself. Like, I had to carry her, move her, feed her, clean her. And I was so stressed out. And my husband was not always at home. He was going and coming for 1 week. We see him for a whole week. And the next week is out. When he comes around, he tried a few times to be helpful and all, but it was still not enough compared to having the mommies. You know how the mommies are now. And that was when it all started, the mood swings, the tiredness, the loss of energy, and every day was a struggle. I'm supposed to be a new mom. I'm supposed to be happy, but I was always tired and angry and sad. I was angry at my child. It felt like she was a burden to me. Now I love her so much, and she's my best friend. Mommy, you're my best friend. That's what she says. But those days, I didn't feel that. I felt burdened. I felt tired. And I was always feeling so sad. And I remember telling one of my friends that, I don't know, I'm always feeling like this. And she said that, oh, maybe it's a vitamin D thing. That was the first time I heard it, like seasonal affective disorder, SAD, SAD, when you have lack of vitamin D. Now, coming from Nigeria, I've been under sun, and now I'm in this country. I'm inside the house most times. Maybe I wasn't getting enough sun. Maybe it was affecting my mood and all that. So I never heard about it. So I went ahead, I bought vitamin D. I started taking vitamin D like every day. And I told myself, oh yeah, I'm getting better. But that was only for a little while. It got so bad that at some point, when I start feeling all moody and all, I'll start eating chocolates. Like, okay, maybe to help lift my mood. And chocolate always lifts the mood. So, always lifts the mood. So yeah, that worked a bit. But still, I was conscious of my weight. I didn't want to gain unnecessary weight. I had a lot of days that I would go without eating. The loneliness, that was where the loneliness started. I would just feel this loneliness. Like, I wasn't talking to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody, but I knew I needed to talk to people. I also started having this animosity towards my husband. I was just angry at him for no reason. Angry at him, I felt like he wasn't there for us. I felt like he wasn't doing his best, I was angry at him because I needed him to, to be there. But it can't be like the moms. It can't be like the mom and the, how the moms have been helping me and all. But I remember I used to just feel angry, like, oh God, men are just living the life. So those things happened to me a lot. And now looking back, I can look back and say, well, I think I did have postpartum depression. But at that moment, there was no way I was going to accept it. Like, how can I have postpartum depression? Do you know who I am? Me. No way. Like, Holy Ghost filled, tongue speaking, fire branded child of God, postpartum depression. Excuse me, it's not my portion. I was in denial. Even my husband told me at one point, he said, I think you're depressed. And I'm like, I'm not depressed. Just because I'm sad now doesn't mean I'm depressed. But I think I was depressed. I think, I was undiagnosed, but I was really depressed. Every little mistake made me feel like I was a failure. I felt like I was failing at everything. I felt like I was failing at being a good mom. I was having these terrible, terrible thoughts. I felt like I was failing at my career. I didn't even have a career. I didn't have a job. And it didn't help that people would call and be saying, what are you doing? Like, I'm not playing. Like, this is so much work. I don't even know how to balance this. I was also failing as a wife. Like, my libido was gone. My sex was like, it was there, but it wasn't perfect. So I was struggling with this, and I remember the point where I knew that I needed to, get out of this fast was one day I was telling my husband, he came back and I was telling him how I just feel like giving it all up. I just feel like going away. And that was when I knew that I had to get a grip on myself. And I remember praying so hard and traveling in prayer and crying and casting and binding and everything. And that day it felt good. I felt light and all, but it wasn't over. It was a daily struggle I had to work on, but I was willing to work on it. I also remember trying to get help through I saw some coaches online on Instagram. There was one that was about purpose, because one of the things I felt I was failing majorly on was purpose. I felt like I'd lost purpose for my life. I didn't know what I was doing with myself. I couldn't find me. So I joined this one. I won't mention her name, but I won't mention her name today, but it was really helpful. She put us on a WhatsApp group and it was great. I connected with other moms, men, different people. We introduced ourselves, we said why we were there, what we wanted. And I gained so much from that platform, but I couldn't continue because the money was a lot and I had to pay for it every month. But I met a very good friend and we connected. From there, she was also a mom. At that moment, she wasn't working also. She was a stay-at-home mom. And we connected really well. We started keeping ourselves accountable and that really helped. And I remember that when I was writing my book, then she would check up on me. She was also writing a book for kids, and we check up on each other. And our bond grew. We would talk for hours on the phone. We would plan. Like we had so much ahead. I feel bad. We haven't been connecting as much, but it was good to have somebody I could talk to and somebody that understood what I was going through. And when I published my book, she was my, one of my biggest supporters. And when she was working on us, so I would be calling her, inspiring her and telling her, call them, do this, don't do that. We were on each other's toes. We were on each other's toes. And it was good. And I remember her saying one day that, oh, she was thanking me and saying that I'd been an inspiration to her. And, she really found my friendship useful. And that moment, it struck, like, I still have a purpose. Like, I'm needed. Like, somebody thinks I'm useful. Somebody finds me inspiring. Somebody thinks, I'm the reason somebody is going for our goals. And that really motivated me. Like, you know what? I can't give up on this fight. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to let how I feel, you know, dictate my life from now on. I also joined another coach online on Instagram. This one was for time management, because one of the things I felt I was really struggling with was how to manage my time. I felt like I had a lot to do and I didn't know how to balance it all. I also wanted to, you know, achieve all my goals. Then I was also trying to write my book. And the coach, I learned a lot from her also. She was also a mom. But one thing happened that day. I remember one of the meetings online, she was asking each and every one of us to talk about our goals, different people that I don't know. And people were saying their life goals and all that. And I mentioned my current goal at that moment was to write the children's book, which I have published on Amazon. If you don't know my book, I'll put the link somewhere so you can buy my book. And I mentioned that book, and she used one derogatory, she just used one word. I can't remember the word. That's good, because for so long I could remember the word. It was like a pain, you know, almost like saying that's a useless goal. She just said it somehow, you know, she didn't mean it. It wasn't personal for her. She just said like, no, go and sit down and think again. And that really hurt me. I was coming from a place where I felt like I didn't have anything to live for, to a place where I was finally pursuing something. I wanted to do something, and then somebody just disregarded it. And she was supposed to be a coach. She was somebody I looked up to. I've been following her for years, and I felt like I could learn something from her. And just that one time, she said that thing, and it took me back down. Like, I went crashing down. And I remember I opened up to her. I told her, you know, thank you so much. I've gained so much from you. Because, okay, she called me out on Facebook and said, oh, I wasn't following up. But then she didn't know I'd given up on her course, because I was like, somebody just said that about me. Like, I think a lot of people come out and say they are life coaches. I would like to be a life coach. I would like to be the reason somebody, you know, does things and achieves greatness. But I think we have to people need to learn to walk in love. And that's one of the reasons my life theme is love, you know. I want love to compel me to do the things I do. Some people just do it for the money, for the profit, and you may just lose yourself. And she called me out, and I told her that, thank you so much, but I'm sorry I won't be continuing this course, because I told her that, see, if people have different things they are going through in life, because my own idea of success or goal at this point does not suit with yours. Yours is how to make more money. I wasn't really chasing after money. It was more like I was looking for validation at that point, you know. And the mistake I made was I was looking for it from others, from outside. I needed to find it from me first. But sadly, I said it to the wrong person, and she crashed it. And I told her, no, thank you. I unfollowed her on Instagram. I unfollowed her everywhere. And I was free. Like, she's a good person, you know. She's a Christian. She didn't know how to communicate well in some areas. And I also had my personal things I was dealing with. So the relationship was not going to work. And I forgave her and I moved on. But I really did. But I remember that it affected my self-confidence all over again. And the little belief, belief I had in myself, I started doubting it. Such that, you know, every day I kept on going. I created an Instagram page. You know, I was trying to push it, but every day I was doubting it, because somebody had told me that my idea was useless. And I was doubting, like, what am I even doing? What am I even doing? And eventually I gave up on that. Well, I didn't give up. I paused it. But I left the Instagram page. I just felt like, no, it was just too much for me. I now sank down again, started struggling to come out of it. And I don't know where the turning point came from exactly, but it was a daily effort. That's one thing I knew. Like, it was a daily effort to consciously live in joy, that was one scripture. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I constantly found myself saying that the joy of the Lord is my strength, you know. And God, you know, opened that scripture to me, and I was like, okay, the joy. You know, when the Bible says this, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace. That joy, the joy of the Lord, is my strength. So every time I felt like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I can't do this, I will be reminded the joy of the Lord is your strength. So every time I was feeling tired and all, I had to just work on my mind, and I will find strength to continue. You know, it was tough. But I'm so glad I came out of it, you know. Some people say, are you really out? I think I am, really, and that's why I can't do this. If I was not out, there was a time I could never even accept that I was, you know, depressed. I could never. This week now is maternal mental health week. So I just felt like this is the best time. I didn't even know, but this is the best time to talk about these mental health issues mothers have. People are going through a lot, and it pays to, you know, come out and find help. So I have a list of things that I wrote out, so I was working on a guide, a personal guide for myself, and I made like a list from A to Z. I wanted to come up with things that, you know, were helping me every day to overcome this. So I'll share that with you shortly. Okay, yeah. So looking at it, yes, I went online. So I went online to check, okay, what are the signs of postpartum depression? Before I say I was depressed, and I saw persistent sadness. Tick, I had that. Lack of, what did I write here? My handwriting. lack of enjoyment. Okay, yeah, lack of enjoyment. Like I didn't enjoy doing anything. Lack of energy, feeling tired, you know, constantly feeling tired. Tick, tick. You know, difficulty bonding with my child. Now, yeah, did I have difficulty bonding with my child? I won't say I had difficulty bonding with her, but as I said, I saw her like a burden. I saw her like she was stressing me. I was bonding with my child well, to be honest, but I wasn't grateful. I wasn't like, oh, it felt like it was more like a duty, which it says a duty, but it was like a forced duty. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Withdrawing contact with other people. Yeah, I withdrew from a lot of people. Like, it was a struggle to even call my own parents. They had to call me. It was a struggle to call my mother-in-law. When people call and say, you're not calling. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, if I don't call me too. Like, I didn't care. I didn't care about anybody. I was just sinking into this self-pity, self-isolation, self-everything zone, which wasn't helping. And, you know, hurting baby. I did not hurt my baby, but did I think of hurting my baby? Not exactly, but the truth is there were days I wanted her to just shut up. She was crying, any little thing, cry. And I guess that's not a good feeling. And also I said I thought of running away from my child is hurting her. So yeah, I think I thought of hurting her in that way. So yeah, you know, low sex drive, low will to live. I had everything basically, but here I am today. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. So I made a list of things that have helped me so far, that I'm working on, that I've worked on. And everything starts with the mind. You know, it's a mental thing, it's a mind thing. And it wasn't easy to get here. I wish I put a date to it that on this day I recovered. But as I said, it wasn't in one day. The days when I felt like, yes, I have the victory, the next day I'm down again. But until I made it like, okay, God, you have to get me out. I need you to help me. You know, and I said I reached out to a few people. My husband was even like, do you need therapy? But because I was in denial, I didn't even believe I was depressed. I didn't think I needed to talk to somebody about it. And I think that is one of the biggest lie of being depressed or having mental health issues. You don't think you need help, you know? So if you don't think you need help, then maybe you do. Because we all need help, to be honest, to be truthful, we all need help at some point in our lives. We all need help. So if you're not getting help from people around you or from the Holy Ghost or from, you know, and you're doing everything yourself, then I don't think you're doing the right thing. You need to find help, you need to delegate, and you need to speak out. So let me just race through. I'm trying to keep this short. I don't know if this will be short, but the first thing is the guide is A to Z. So I'm kind of working on a book. I don't want to say it yet, but because I've been lazy about it, to be honest. But I believe that it will be out before my birthday in July, or on my birthday in July. So the first one is A, acceptance. So acceptance means, you know, accept the new norm, accept that you're now a mom, accept that things will never be the same again, accept that, you know, you now have to give yourself, you know, you have to be there for someone else. You need to accept that your finances will not be the same, your career may not be the same. A lot of things are going to change. You know, you need to accept your new norm, because the sooner you accept it, the easier it is to cope. For me, it took a while to accept. I kept on feeling like, okay, I'll soon be out of this, and I kept on struggling with my new reality. But when I started coming to terms with it, when I started accepting that, see, being a mom is great. This is my new norm. This is my new life. I'm no longer miss somebody. I'm no longer single. I don't have only myself to think about. I have to think about my child. You know, when I started accepting that reality, it started getting better. B, breathe. Learn to breathe. Like, just take a second and just, it will be all right. I'm going to be fine. Learn to breathe. It's so important to do this. Like, you can just keep going and the day ends and you're just like, oh, and you didn't even breathe the whole day. You get tired. So find time to just breathe. Then C, I have 2 C's. The first one is credit. Give yourself credit. Give yourself some credit, mama. You're doing a great job. So I started learning to give myself credit. I remember a couple of my friends then told me that, like, you're doing a lot and you don't give yourself enough credit. And in my mind, I'm like, am I doing a lot? Me that I felt like I was failing. Maybe nobody appreciated me. But when I started giving myself credit, when, you know, the little things I achieved, and when I started giving myself credit, the fact that I'm even there for this child, you know, I started patting myself on the back. I started feeling better. You know, sometimes the world will not give you credit. Nobody else will give you credit. Only you. So when I started doing that, I started feeling better. And comparison. Do not compare. That's another C. A lot of, especially as a new mom, you see a lot of people, somebody's child is like this, your own child is like this. You start feeling the pressure, like, oh my God, what am I failing at? You start asking yourself, you start doubting yourself. That comparison is a thief of joy. It is so true. You're comparing. It may be something like, maybe postpartum body, somebody that gave birth maybe the same day as you gave birth, person is already looking like this, and you're still looking like this. That can get to you, you know, the little things. So don't compare, you know, work on your mind, don't allow it, don't let it steal it, don't let it steal your joy. You know, when you find yourself, you see somebody and you're not even thinking about it, and you may just start, you know, beating yourself up. Oh my God, why haven't I achieved this? Why can't my child do this? My child doesn't do that. See, if you have to take a step back from all those things, take a step back, you know, unfollow them, whatever will work for you, but don't compare. D, declutter. Now, I learned this from one of the groups I went to, the coaching groups, and, you know, take time to declutter. All the things hanging around you. Declutter your environment, declutter your life, declutter your mind. Find time to declutter. So this decluttering is there from saying, okay, first this room, or I'll arrange this room, and I declutter the room. What don't I want? You know, even because you have everything in your mind, oh, I want to arrange the room, I want to arrange the kitchen, I want to arrange, and everything is putting stress and tension on you. But take it a day at a time and begin to declutter. Remove the things that you don't need, throw them away. The ones that you need, arrange it well, step by step. Then the next one is E, exercise. That one may seem like, oh yeah, you need to exercise. Like, I may not be, I still have big tummy. I still have all the fat and folds, but I try to get in some cardio, and exercising is so refreshing. I find that the days that I exercise and, you know, do the minimum amount of workout, if it's just for 30 minutes, I find it easier to get on with my day. I find it easier to do things. You know, I feel fresh. I feel like I'm moving better. So it's important to exercise, especially now when your child becomes a toddler and you need to move about. You'll just be getting tired and you're wondering why. I feel like now I have more energy to keep up with my child because I exercise than when I just sit down and I don't do anything. I'll just be feeling like, oh, this girl is she's so playful, she's so stressful. But the days I exercise, I find I'm better. So I do have a structure to get in exercise. At least in a week, I do 3 times. I know I can do more, but that's what's working for me now. Then F, feed your faith. Feed your faith, not your fears. They all start with F. Feed, faith, fear. Which one are you going to feed? Are you going to feed your faith or feed your fears? So if you constantly feed your fears, you will constantly, you know, be on the negative. If you are, how do you feed? You feed through the things you hear, the things you see. So what I did, I started listening to more sermons, I listened to more podcasts, you know, things that would just, oh, you know, I was feeling, yes, preach it. I was taking in the positive, the good stuff. I wasn't feeding myself with the lies, you know, and the lies, a lot of them come from your mindset. They tell you you're not good enough, you are not this, you're not valid. That's another one. But I'm not getting to Z today. I'm just going to stop at A to H. A B C D E F G H. I'll stop at H. So, you know, the more I started feeding my faith and building my faith, I started getting better. I started healing. And the next one is G. Can you guess what that is? G is gratitude. Learn to be grateful. Oh God. Thank God for every little thing. Gratitude is the attitude to your altitude or something like that. So I can't remember. But the day I saw it, I said, yeah, you know, I said learn to be grateful, thankful for the things I already have. You know, what I realized that one of the problems was that the sadness and everything was coming from the fact that I was focusing on the things I didn't have. I was focusing on the negatives. I was focusing on the little things that were not important rather than focusing on, you know, the things I already have, rather than focusing on, you know, the things God has blessed me with. So when I started focusing on that, I started being grateful for that. You know, I was able to come out of it. I started finding more reasons to be joyful. You know, I'm alive. I have a healthy baby. You know, I'm healing well. Things. My husband has a good job, even if I don't have one. You know, we are feeding well. No, we are not begging. We are not hungry. I started finding things to be grateful for. The fact that we sleep and we wake up. You know, I started being grateful for the air, everything. I started finding joy. I started finding my joy back. And then the H, help. Ask for help. Seek for help. Don't keep it to yourself. Speak out. Reach out. Ask for help. We all need help. You know, as I said, we all need help. And the sooner you ask for help, the better. So, like for me, I started asking for help more from my husband. You know, then I'll be angry. I told you I was feeling this animosity towards him, but I wasn't asking for help. I just expected him to know what to do. I expected him to help me to lay the bed, but I didn't ask him to. You know, I expected him to help us, you know, clean and do stuff, but I needed to ask. I needed to say, okay, you know, but because I was doing everything and he thought I could handle it. But I needed to say, hey, guy, I need your help. I really need you to help me. So, and a lot of times you will tell me, you say, if you need help, let me know. But in my mind, I'm like, must I tell you every time? You know, so I started asking for help. I even created a chore, like a list. Okay, these are the things you help us do. You didn't like the list, but you got used to it. They started helping us do those things. You know, I started speaking out more. We started communicating more. And it really helped me, you know, to know that I'm not alone in this thing. I have a partner, you know. This child is not my child. I remember talking to him and I said, see, you know what, this thing, I don't want you to feel like you're helping me. You're helping us, we're a family. So we started speaking out more. We started being honest and true to the things we were going through. And it really helped. It helped me to heal. And that's why I'm sharing this today. So that is my postpartum journey thus far. I've spoken so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.